Okay, we're back now. That was a little neighbor boy looking for my grandson, and he would have kept knocking, and he'd have knocked harder. So I thought, well, I better go ahead and get it because it's not like a telephone. You don't have to answer a telephone, but when they're knocking at the door, and this little boy especially, when he knocks, if he doesn't get a response, he gets real loud in his knocking, beating on the door and stuff. So, yeah, like I was a kid at one time. Okay, and also I'm going to use the red oxide in. Let me get a little bit bigger brush and dip in here, make it a little bit bigger. For red oxide here, I'm going to use a bigger brush to do the hat also in red oxide, or the little sheath, as we might say, the little. So I'm going to go ahead and do that also in red oxide, and I'm going to show you how I do that, what I'm going to do to it. My little grandson he's 9, and he stays with us occasionally. And another case of divorce. And where the mother one day just took off and no one knows where she is. So, oh, the troubles of today, folks. She just left one day and we never saw her again. So, one of those. Luckily, my son has not been married, Matthew, and so he hasn't faced those troubles yet. That was my wife I'm married to now. It's her son. There's a lot of cases where grandparents are taking care of grandchildren now. And it's a sad situation, but it is all over because of certain things just like that. Or helping their children take care of their grandchildren because of. But that's part of family, you know. My mother's 84. I take care of her. She can't hardly see, and that's just part of family. And thank God that family. I tell you what, folks. Family is important. It's so important because when all your good buddies and friends and stuff, when really the hard times come, they're not going to be around. Young people, listen to that, please. I'm not an expert on anything. I just had to go through it. But when the tough times come, those friends, most of those are gone. And your family's really, at times, the only thing you can count on. I've been through that little deal. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. See? Kind of looking at the red on the things here. Touching up just a little bit. Okay. All right. Okay, now let's see. I think, excuse me, what we're going to do is we're going to use a combination. I'm not going to make the beard white. He's not Santa Claus, okay? He's not. So I'm going to use that combination that I love to use with a combination of gray and white, okay? And this is how I do it. I use this gray color. Yeah, I tell you, I've been in that situation where friends, I thought friends were going to come through whenever I went through some rough times, and the friends didn't come through. And I'm not saying they won't. I'm just saying a lot of times they don't understand. But your family's there for you. I'll tell you the truth. If I hadn't had my mother And my stepmother, or my wife's mother, after my wife died, I don't know what I'd done, helped me with my son. And that's where family is so important, I'll tell you what. Now, one of them has already passed on, and my mother is still alive. And I'm going to tell you, you think that won't happen. It can happen easily, folks. I mean, my brother was well 3 months ago, and when he got this lymphoma, everything was supposed to be okay. Well, it didn't turn out that way, and now he's in a grave. So it happens so quickly sometimes. We don't think so. But family is always there for you, they seem like. Okay, as you see, I'm using this gray, and then I'll use a little combination of white in the gray to make it look kind of old. I'm extremely proud of my mother for the way she has handled everything. She's a tough woman, I'll tell you what. I look back and I see that women of long ago, a lot of them were really tough people. They had to be, going through the struggles of life, things like that. And I'm just so proud of my mother and the way she has handled these two quick problems in her life, serious problems. And but she's pretty tough, I'll tell you what. And I'm sure she grieves, just like everybody else. Don't think you don't grieve, you do. She's done well. And at 84, that's pretty darn good. Okay. All right, we're getting there. Okay, there it is. Now, it don't look like much now, but I'll show you how we're going to do it.